Order. I must inform the House the manuscript amendment to the Amendment A has been tabled by the Prime Minister and I have selected that amendment. For the convenience of the House, the manuscript amendment adds the following words to the end of the current amendment, which shall instead be referred to the Intelligence and Security Committee of Parliament. Copies of the manuscript amendment are now available in the Vote Office. I will call the Minister to move that amendment formally when winding up the debate. The debate now continues with Dr Scott Arthur.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I've been waiting for 3 hours to speak in this debate, and I was wanting to talk about consensus, but it seems that my speech is just one place too late. And I want to start by following on from the member from Islington North and the point he made about recovering Mandelson's pay, or at least stopping the pay being awarded to him. I have to say, constituents in Edinburgh South West want to go further and recover his pension as well. But I do want to start by thanking the opposition front bench for bringing this debate today. I think it's right that we do debate these issues, and I think certainly people in my constituency expect that to happen. In terms of consensus, though, I think where we're at is that the SNP, Greens and Lib Dems back their original humble address. I'm not sure if your party backs it or not, or perhaps the gentleman was just speaking on his own behalf. The Conservatives seem to accept that their humble address was a little bit reckless, and they want to support the involvement of the ISC. And now the government is showing leadership and brought that in. I think that's where we're at. I mean, feel free to correct me. Do you want to correct me? Sorry, they may want to correct me. I'm happy to take an intervention. But I did expect to come here today, Mr. Speaker, and hear a little bit more about what Mandelson may or may not have been getting up to during the era of Alistair Darling and Gordon Brown trying to save our economy. Gordon Brown's a man I have huge respect for, a man of real integrity, and Alistair Darling is a predecessor in my seat. Again, he was a man of great integrity and someone who I really respected. I think Mandelson, I think we can all agree, was the complete opposite of these two great men, these two political leaders of my era. And I don't doubt that once that criminal investigation is completed, there will be a public inquiry that some people are talking about. But I think it's right that we have focused on Mandelson's links with Epstein today, and I think the member for Bolsover made that absolutely clear about why that is so important. Very happy to.
I thank the honourable gentleman for giving way. He's just said that he thinks it's absolutely right that this House focuses on Peter Mandelson's links with Jeffrey Epstein, and I welcome him for suddenly coming to that conclusion. Can I ask him why, then, the Prime Minister felt it necessary to appoint him as the US ambassador when he, after this afternoon's revelation, knew that he still had a relationship with him?
Dr Arthur.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I mean, that's why I'm here in this debate this afternoon, because I want to see these documents released so we can understand what decisions were made. You might not guess it, but you might not guess it. Go for it.
Andrew Snowden.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the honourable member for giving way. We know the decision that was making. He was appointed ambassador whilst knowing that there was a relationship with a convicted paedophile, and it was worth the risk. So what is worth the risk? What is the level of relationship that is acceptable with a paedophile? Is it coffee in the morning or dinner at night? What is that level? There should be none with a convicted paedophile.
Scott Arthur.
Hopefully the documents will explain what has happened. Hopefully. I mean, can I just expand on one point? You know, so I know I don't look it, but I've been around for a long time. I can remember Mandelson's first lap, then his second lap, then I'm going to the Lords, and now this third lap. So my general perception of him is not someone I would trust. I wouldn't buy a second-hand car from him. But that's based on my perception of the media. I've not seen the vetting they went through. When the chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee went through what the selection procedure was, and I accept that's a procedure that this government's inherited, I thought it was an absolute shambles the way the steps they went through Nothing what I would expect. I expected much, much more detail. So hopefully these documents will give us a bit more detail. Happy to give way.
I'm grateful for the honourable member for giving way. He's just said that he wouldn't have bought a second-hand car from Mandelson. So would he have made him ambassador to the United States?
Based on my knowledge of him, absolutely not. But I've not seen the vetting documents as insubstantial as they appear. I've not seen them.
I thank the honourable gentleman for giving way. Given the fact that he would not have appointed, rightly I think, he would not have appointed Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the United States of America, does he have any confidence that the Prime Minister, one, made the right decision at that point, or can make the right decision on any other national security issue ever again?
Take care. Dr. Scott Arthur.
We heard from the Prime Minister at lunchtime at length today, at the Prime Minister's questions time. We're going to release this information. That's a chance for people to look at this. I think we can speculate, but what this debate is about today is about releasing this information into the public domain so people can be reassured that the right decision has been made. And if it's not, we can question it. Do you want to?
Still a Creasy.
For giving way. He was here earlier when I raised the possibility of how we learn not just to deal with this situation, and I am with colleagues who are not happy about the amendments that were originally proposed, but also what we can do fundamentally, because the truth is this is not the first time that we have seen controversial people appointed to positions. Does he, as a relatively new MP, share my interest in learning from other jurisdictions around the world where you have pre-appointment hearings by, say, for example, select committees that can object to a shortlist, that we toughen up the role of this place in being the eyes and ears about what good democracy practice looks like?
Dr. Scott Arthur.
I have to say, Mr. Speaker, I really thank the Honourable for that point, but the description of the vetting procedure described by the Chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee just seems so insubstantial to me. So absolutely right, we have to do much better. I'm in the process of recruiting a community engagement officer, and it felt like we had more rigour in appointing that person in terms of checking the background than the process that was described. I mean, I do have to accept perhaps I might have understood the process that was described. So it's right that we have focused on Mandelson's links with Epstein, absolutely. But I'm also reflecting on the fact that if Mandelson wasn't included in this data release at the weekend, perhaps we would have been speaking about Andrew Windsor and Sarah Ferguson today as well. And I think they are perhaps the winners in this. Another point, earlier I was guilty of saying the member for Edinburgh South had misread the room in terms of how he was presenting these arguments. But he was right in one point. He was right when he said that Mandelson is a traitor. And I think hopefully meant not just a traitor to the UK, but also a traitor to the survivors of sexual abuse from Epstein and survivors of sexual abuse everywhere, actually. So I really do think that residents in Edinburgh South West and everywhere expect us to work together on this today and reach consensus. And hopefully we can do that. I'm still not sure that the Lib Dems, SNP and the Greens are on board yet, but I think we're coming much closer together. And I think... So, because it seemed that, apologies, it seems that the SNP Greens and Lib Dems perhaps were wanting to back the original humble address rather than including the ISC being involved in the process. That was my understanding.
Lisa Smart.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very grateful for him letting me intervene. I said explicitly in my remarks from the Lib Dem front bench that I welcomed the Minister's openness to the ISC being part of this. So I'm glad he gave me the opportunity to clarify.
Really grateful for the correction. As ever, perhaps I wasn't listening quite as carefully.